And this is why I say it always depends on
Introducing.
Listen, let me finish what I'm saying.
Hold on, we'll get to it. Let's intro the episode. Let's intro the episode.
We ain't got time.
We have Abdullah.
We have to intro.
Abdullah. And in the pink corner, we have.
Let's go.
Formula.
Let's get this done. We ain't got time, man. Let's do it. 5 minutes or so.
And
Assalamualaikum, people.
So,
go straight into it.
You want to go
straight into it? Carry on, Dullah. Carry on.
Cool.
So, my thing is, that's what I'm saying. There's two points that come into this discussion. Is the first thing is me in general. I'm not. When I'm passionate about something, all eloquence goes out the window. I'm not good at articulating myself because I'm too drawn in a moment. At the same time, I'm thinking about what I'm saying before I say it. Whenever I think about something, like I've even seen it on a pod where I'm like, this is not me, because I'm talking like I've got a speech impediment, but it's because I'm thinking about, regardless of what you think, I think about what I say when I'm on a pod.
We know.
I always think about what I'm saying before I say it. So when I'm talking, it's like, because I'm still processing it. I'm somebody who deep things too much. The second thing is, because I'm known for being blunt and honest.
Really?
It comes across as, oh, this guy's already here for a fight. I don't like arguing. I'm not here to argue. More time, if you're arguing with me, you're halfway in, I'll probably just cut because it's long. I find arguing long.
Okay.
My thing is, this is my opinion. That's it. Whatever.
But we're still gonna have a conversation about it and why we think that it's your opinion. And we might not change your standpoint, but you might not change your stance on it. But it's also good to look at other people's perspectives and see where you may be going wrong. Because I'm
not going wrong.
Hold on. Let me finish. Just because it's your opinion, it doesn't mean that it is correct, and that doesn't mean that what I'm doing is correct.
It's correct to me.
It's just exactly. It's just somebody else's opinion, and it's good to hear it.
It may not.
And you've heard it.
It may not yield. This is not based on the situation. But your opinion, even if it's your opinion, may not yield the best results for you.
Exactly.
It will use the best results for me because I understand what I'm talking about, inshallah. And the thing is because I'm speaking about it, but maybe I'm not articulating. That's what I'm saying about me. Maybe I'm not articulating it properly because I remember Ridwan saying something, and I was like, "Yeah, you summed it up
exactly." So no one has an issue with. And the then way people. I don't think anyone has an issue with the way that you articulate because we know because we know you. We can still understand what you said, and that's why he was able to say.
You can understand it more, but you can't understand it because and it's not just with this specific topic that was in a group chat about women and how they naturally whatever, but. It's the fact that it's coming from me. And when it's coming from me, I find that people are usually more, because it's me and it's like, whatever.
Okay, fair enough.
People are usually more, they're less inclined to kind of understand it more I haven't articulated it properly.
I think that's the case if people don't know you. I think I think you have benefit that we do know you and we can understand that maybe you don't articulate.
No,
we didn't. If we didn't
if we didn't know you, the responses would be vastly different. I'm telling you,
they would be vastly different.
And I think it's because we know you have benefit there. So I don't think it's.
No, I have a bit of a benefit there, but I still don't think you sometimes. Even on a pod. I'm sure there's if I watch all of it, because I don't usually watch the pod. I'm sure if I watch all of them, I can find many points where. We've argued something and then we've gone on and on about it, and then it's like in a space of 5 minutes, it's like one of you said, yeah, so you meant da-da-da-da-da-da, and I'll be like, yeah, and then you're like, oh yeah.
Do you know it's more time? Obviously, I do that to you on purpose because I'm a waste man, but it makes good content. Because more time, I'm not gonna lie, I think this is a little secret. There's a lot of times where I've said it obviously that it's not even that we disagree. Sometimes we do like the beating children thing or whatever. But not the beating children. Yeah, that that episode. I can't remember what the exact disagreement was. But more time, man will agree. It's just
content. Yeah,
content. I don't think it's dollar though. But it is going to be hard to make concessions for a person who says his opinion as it is fact.
As fact, exactly.
That's your part.
Yeah,
that's your part.
I think.
No.
Hold on. I think sometimes.
No. Let me finish. I'll let you finish in a minute. This is the thing, though, and this is the thing about the podcast in general. I've never once said to anyone who's listening, whether it be in a group chat, I've never said this is how you should do it.
No.
I said this is my opinion. This is how I deal with things. And this is what I'm on.
That's not what we're saying. That's absolutely fine. But the thing is that
why would I be saying it as fact, as if you should do it?
It's hard. I wish I had an example.
Okay, fair enough. I understand that. But then at the same time as well, it's like I think it's sometimes difficult to have a conversation when you have an opinion and you don't want to hear what anybody else has to say.
Because I don't. Because it's mad. That's my opinion. That's what I'm just letting you. You asked me for my opinion.
Do you know what I'm saying on that?
I'm letting you know that's my opinion, and that's it.
Do you know what I'm saying? That it's everything you said 5 years ago. Everything you thought 5 years ago.
It changes.
Has it been the same? Is it the same as it is now?
No, it changes.
So there's a possibility. So there is a possibility that. So how is it going to change if your head is hard to change?
My head is not hard. I've heard your opinion, and some of it I'll agree with, some of it I'll disagree with, and that's that. But don't come and move like, oh, you're moving mad because you said this or whatever. The only time I can say this applies is I'm not even talking about the group chat. I'm talking about in general.
No, because with me, I think the thing that you two are talking about,
the only time this doesn't apply.
I'm talking generally because I don't actually know.
Yeah, I'm talking generally as well. The only time this applies is when it comes to the religion, like. When we talk about the religion, this is not based on facts and this is not based on opinions. This is based on facts, evidences, what we come with, what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam did, what the Salaf did. This is not based on I believe this or I believe that or my opinion is this.
Prime meetings and that. Yeah?
We can agree on that. Yeah, we can all agree on that.
I wasn't even thinking about that, but we can get into that. But we ain't got time. We ain't got time.
Not today. Maybe in like 5 years, innit? When this, inshallah, when this.
But
when it's a bit less hot.
Sorry, what are you gonna say, bro?
I've forgotten. But I think.
So you was kind of based on obviously some of the stuff that was touched on.
So what?
Yeah.
Do you want to go through the Instagram responses or?
Do you know what I want to say first? Can I quickly? I want to clarify something firstly.
Yeah.
Actually, is it worth clarifying? Should I just leave it open? Do I
care? And then if you feel
because you know the thing, it was the thing. Yeah, we might cut this out. The thing about borrowing peas from outside.
Yeah,
I don't want to bring that topic up again.
We're gonna bring up. I think maybe I can clarify my standpoint.
Yeah, my wife's probably not happy
because obviously the way it was, of course she wasn't. The way it was brought out. Yeah, so basically, that's the thing. It's mad how things can get clipped, you know. So basically the way that came about is because I created a situation where you've borrowed money off your sister.
And the thing is, I
didn't go into the backstory.
And I answered the scenario. I think to make it clear from my standpoint, it's not something I would do. I would always approach my wife first. I wouldn't go outside before I speak to my wife.
First of all, inshallah, I'm not borrowing money off no one, man. I've only borrowed money 3 times in my life. Once off my mum to start my property business because I bought a house and I couldn't afford to renovate it. Second time off this brother, my brother. Should you cut that out? Huh? When I was living by myself and someone tried to do me wrong and my account was frozen, someone borrowed me money in it. And then the second time another brother borrowed me money. And these are all times when I was young.
Yeah, so best case scenario, you don't have to borrow money back. We're speaking.
So inshallah, I'll never be borrowing money like that. So
about me £10.
But yeah,
right now, I'm the one that needs £10, bro.
But yeah, so like because honestly, I know certain man went home and
I love what
I'm joking.
I love what your brother said. You know, I'm too meticulous. I was like, yes, my guy.
No, to be honest, the thing
because
is
I can't find myself in that situation. Inshallah,
I agree with him. I agree with everything he said. Yeah, about him being too meticulous because I don't think I find myself in that situation.
The thing is, obviously, sometimes we're gonna create scenarios and that. I don't even know. But sometimes we're gonna create scenarios.
Because if we're gonna keep on talking about, we have to explain what we're talking about. We can't just speak in code to each other.
No. I'm saying in terms of the borrowing money off the.
Huh? No. So this was about So the first part was about women, innit? And should we make this a whole nother pod?
Nah, definitely.
I think it's
definitely. We could, but it's not now because I'm tired.
Okay, so basically, I said in the group chat that naturally,
so
women are
2 different things. So let me quickly, before you do that, So obviously, when I spoke about borrowing money off the sister and you're going to tell your wife, blah, 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 that was a situation where, for whatever reason, you haven't borrowed money off your wife, innit?
Yeah.
We didn't go into whether we'd borrowed money off the wife.
Yeah, first, before going outside.
That is, and none of us need to answer that now. I don't think I need to answer that now. Obviously, we'll do what's right.
Sorry,
I'm trying to. Okay, obviously, well, me anyway. Obviously, I go to business before I go outside of it because you keep it in the family and blah blah blah. But we didn't address that on the podcast, did it? But the way people are talking and the way that but whatever, we love it. We love it.
Oh yeah, those a lot of those comments. Yeah, I'm sure the sisters are sincere in what they genuinely believe that. But that comes to what I was saying on the pod last week. Everyone can say all kinds of stuff when all is good. But until you're tested,
that point, I do agree that everyone can say anything.
But until you're put in a situation, and that was what I was trying to emphasize, that when you're put in a situation, things will change.
Yeah, you can say
things may change.
You can say that about anything, but then
things may change.
You can
and the thing is, I'm not even saying, oh, your wife's gonna leave you, or I'm talking about good, decent scenario, best case scenario. There are going to be little microaggressions. After a while, if you're going to keep going to your wife,
there may be.
That's not a best case scenario.
There may be.
But okay, the example.
Rarely ever, bruv. We're human. We're talking about a man and a woman.
A lot of people are going to be screaming at the TV.
Oh, you know what?
I'm not. Yourself, innit?
We're not. Yeah,
we can't assume, innit? We can't.
Okay.
You can't.
Yeah, I'm speaking. That's my opinion, innit? I'm sorry.
All right.
Yeah, cool.
All right, cool. Sorry for that.
If you
straight dived in, we didn't mind because it was running before we.
Do you know what I'm gonna say? I might put in a clip here. I'm gonna say if you want to understand this part of the podcast, refer back to the last episode.
We thought let's not waste the content. That's how we started rolling and went straight in. But assalamu alaikum people. We're back with it's the Jollof After Jummah podcast. This is episode 23.
Yeah,
23. Yeah. With myself, Ibs.
Assalamualaikum, it's Abdul Malik. I'm going to be good with my mic today. Sorry about last week.
Assalamu alaikum. You're now listening to Jollof After Jummah. My name's Abdullah. Sorry, I'm just copying. I'm copying the questions onto a notepad.
I thought we got rid of those transitions.
All right, anyway. so I got all the questions now. We got 17 responses and I've added one, and you had one, right?
Don't worry about that.
All right, so basically I sent a message around on huh? No. I copied them all on notes just to make it easier because there's a lot of stuff to go through.
Send them to the chat, please. I want to see them.
All right.
Just leave them as a surprise.
Actually, firstly, because I remember I wanted to address them. You know what? Shall I leave?
Huh?
Shall I leave them as a surprise? No, firstly, one thing I wanted to address is my whole moving situation, because I didn't really give you guys an update on that, and I didn't really feel to, because on the podcast I don't really talk about what's up.
Must do YouTuber, you know.
On the podcast, I've only ever spoken. I don't really get personal like that. I've only spoken about two things that have really been personal to me, and that was the whole business situation, and with my businesses, and the moving situation, because that rattled me. And when it comes to situations like, and both of them I only mentioned because I thought it would benefit people. That's the only reason why I mention stuff. If I mention something personal, it's only to benefit people. That's why this podcast is here. And when I mentioned the whole moving situation, I didn't really expect no one to. This is my opinion, innit? When I don't really talk about issues like that, because I'm not expecting anybody to care. No one cares about your issues. That's just how I see things. And when I put it out there, yeah, like I said, it was to benefit people. So when people are always asking me, like people were genuinely showing concern, I was surprised. And it's to the point where I might as well just reply now and let you guys know how it is, rather than carrying on to respond to everyone. And even when I sent the questions out, a lot of them were, how's the moving situation? So basically, I found a place, alhamdulillah, about 3 weeks ago. And Yeah, it's lovely.
What's the address?
Alhamdulillah. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. That was a bunch of waffle, but yeah, long story short.
Basically, he's got.
Alhamdulillah, I found a place that is to my standards, alhamdulillah. And it's a bit on the small side compared to my last place, but alhamdulillah. That at least. And the landlord's a Muslim, the estate agent's Muslim. All good, bruv. Alhamdulillah. 15 minutes jog from the mosque, ICT, all good, alhamdulillah. But yeah.
Assalamu alaikum, people. The listeners have sent in a few questions, which obviously we're going to be using to, maybe give you a bit more of an insight into the kind of things that we think as brothers and that, and also obviously just give you lot a chance to kind of put some input and hear topics that you want to hear. So I think the first one, yeah, to be fair, you'll just hear them in it, so they'll come when they come in it. So Bismillah.
Would you allow your children to get married at the same age that you got married?
Start from Dollar?
Yeah, I'd encourage it, inshallah.
I think the answer is going to be quite simple for all of us.
In fact, I would prefer to do it earlier. I'd prefer them to get married as early as possible. Not as early as possible, but
as early as appropriate,
as soon as I see that they've matured and some screws they've started to tighten in their head and they're mature. Yeah, so ASAP, pretty much.
Is there anything that you'd it's kind of weird to ask this for three people that have been, the combined total of marriage years between us is like 5 days. But anyway, is there anything that you think, that if you wasn't married, that you do? Let's say somebody said I said you're not gonna get married till you're 28. Is there anything specifically you do between now and that time? Say 3 years.
Say what?
So let's say you weren't gonna get married, like you're gonna get married in 3 years, yeah? Mm-hmm. You're not gonna get married now.
Yeah.
Is there anything specifically you do with that time of not being married?
Yes.
No, not really.
Not really at all. How come?
Well,
it's almost like saying, is there anything that you kind of...
So if I knew I was going to get married in 3 years,
yeah,
is there anything I would do? Not out of the usual, not out of the ordinary. Obviously, to be honest, if you're even thinking about marriage and you've got a date set and you're engaged, you should have already studied the rights of a husband, of a wife, all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. You should already be prepped in regards to knowledge and because you're never going to know it all, but at the same time, you should be prepared.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I think I would have probably, if I was going to be married in 3 years' time, I think I would use that kind of time to maybe change career paths. I don't think at the moment where I am now is, I don't think I see. Am I snaking?
I think so.
There's nothing. I don't have a problem with what I'm doing at the moment, as in terms of my career. I don't have a problem with what I'm doing, but there are things I would like to do in the future, and being married doesn't mean I can't do them. I can still do them, but obviously it may be a little bit more difficult because I now have to consider somebody else. So I think in that time, if I was to get married in 3 years, I could obviously be a little bit more selfish and obviously not having the stress of having to pay bills and stuff because I'm living with someone. If I'm living at home with my parents, I can do those kind of things more freely in that time. That's what I would, and I would probably change career paths. Yeah.
Like you definitely change, or you try different things, or you just like...
No, I think at this point I kind of know what direction I'd like to go in terms of my career. But obviously being married now, it's not impossible, but it is definitely harder. And it is still probably something I will do in the future. But yeah, like I said, it is just going to be harder. And if I didn't have the extra responsibility of having a wife and someone to provide for, then it would be a lot easier for me to, and I'd probably do it sooner. So yeah,
I think with me, if I'm getting a bit techie, for example, I think I had like so let's say that financially, I had like a certain amount that I wanted to have that was like saved, and I had a certain amount that I wanted to have on top of that for doing stuff. Yeah. Let's say I wanted to invest or that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
From within that, so almost like a buffer, and then yeah. So I think if let's say you said it gave me like 3 more years, I think what I'd do is I'd say, okay, cool, that's there, and then with that, I'm able to kind of either I don't think, because it's mad, 3 years maybe not enough time, but basically, if I had more time in the ideal world, I'd be able to do certain things within what I'm doing now that enabled me to be able to just completely cut myself off. So like, for example, like you see what you said about leave job, I can't really leave because I'm in uni, innit? I'm still in uni doing something so I can't leave in it because I have to pay a lot of money if I leave. So stuff like that you can, so almost kind of similar to what you're saying, that you can just kind of break yourself off and then just explore bare different avenues and just see what going on. And as well as that stuff like living in certain areas, I think I'd like to try that.
Okay.
Like maybe living in, like, for example, like go to Nigeria for like a solid amount of time, 3 months, go in to like Egypt or Saudi, that type of thing, for like a good amount of time, obviously working there, doing different things there, studying, and these are things as well, especially the studying thing, you can definitely still do, but as you said, everything's more difficult when you have to worry about somebody else. Yeah, it's just life, innit? So it's not like, I don't want it to sound like having a wife is a hindrance to all these things. And exactly, and as man, obviously,
at the end of the day, your wife doesn't need your time.
Exactly.
So a huge chunk of your time after marriage is dedicated towards making sure your wife is not neglected emotionally.
And it's not even that the wife is not even going to help you in all these things, but it's just because a lot of the time they will. That's a fact as well. They will, but it's just having that. It's like that selfishness, isn't it? You could just do your own thing.
Selfless.
So maybe for the youths. So if we're going back to that, for the youths, what I'd say is that I wouldn't.
For me, the reason why I said I would want to get them. The reason why I said I would want to get them married off ASAP is to kind of just obviously they've reached maturity, to believe that they're not looking at the opposite gender and having certain thoughts and dealing with certain struggles is naivety. So the reason why I'd want to get them married off, if they find someone that is, or maybe I'll try and even not arrange for them but kind of like push them in the right direction if they see someone kind of oi, get me, just.
Do you know what I think?
The reason why I'd want to do that.
What age would you say that is?
It's not an age. It's not an age dependent thing. As soon as they're over 18, it would be based on their maturity and what I observe of them as my children.
Say if someone's like you.
Yeah.
At what age would you have said?
Bro, I was engaged at 19.
No, yeah, so I'm saying, but you said earlier. So what
do you mean?
You said earlier than you. So if you was engaged at 19 and your son was like you, so what, 16, 17? Like what kind
of? Probably not 16, 17, but because for practical reasons, legally, 100. When it comes to getting married, there's a lot of stuff you have to be 18 for.
Yeah.
So as soon as they're 18, it depends on maturity again. What I see from them as my children, I know them. I'm gonna be one of the people that knows them best as their father.
What about working that?
Financially
providing and stuff.
Alhamdulillah, that's why I'm working hard now.
Yeah, okay.
So that I can take care of them for the first 18 months. I'll contribute or make sure that they're good, that all they need to focus on is,
you know what, yeah,
their studies.
I feel like sometimes we have a lot of conversations about the kind of prerequisites you need to be married from an Islamic point of view, which is obviously what we should follow and try and do as Muslims. But I think it's also important to just think about life in general. If an 18-year-old came to me and told me that they wanted to get married, I think someone said, actually my brother said something similar to this. He'd asked them why.
Anyone
he said he's under 25, but I kind of agree with that.
Talking about men here or
both? I think I'm saying both. If an 18-year-old came to me and asked me and said to me they wanted to get married, I'd be dubious, because an emotional intelligence is extremely important.
Yes.
Does an 18-year-old even know themselves well enough to now talk about getting married and committing to making somebody else a part of your life and caring for that person as well?
Yes or no? It depends on the individual.
Yes, you can't of course it depends on the individual.
Your brother said 25. Why 25? Where does the number 25?
I don't know.
You'd have to ask him. Talking about
exactly.
You'd have to ask him.
He's seen.
I know you don't know because you're not the one that said it. But I'm just saying it to raise a point.
You said 18, and that's why I'm asking you that question. I'm saying that 18 from that age. If you're saying that you'd like to get married at the age of 18 years old, I would 100%.
I didn't say 18. I said as soon as possible, depending on each child and them and what I see from them.
Even
but I said 18 earliest.
Even that,
I said 18 earliest for legal reasons, because 18 is when you're allowed to do most things. You're not allowed to do a lot of things before 18.
Setting the bar beginning at 18 and saying from 18 you would be, so you're basically saying to that if you're happy that if your 18-year-old son or daughter came to you and said that I've got this and this and this XYZ pattern, I'd like to.
They don't need to come to me and say it.
Okay, fine.
Even if they came to me and said it, if I don't see that in them, I'll still encourage them to.
Don't pick my words. The point I'm making is that you're saying that if you're 18, if you saw that your 18-year-old son or daughter was ready to get, if you believed that they get married, you'd be happy for them to go.
100%. I would encourage it. I would even try and facilitate it.
I'm saying I would be dubious.
Cool.
An 18-year-old for me.
Yeah.
I don't think an 18. This is my opinion. Yeah. I don't think an 18-year-old can have the emotional intelligence or the life experience to go out,
of course, they don't
and get married.
So would you say that? Okay, I think dubious. Yeah, I think Abdullah would probably be. Am I right in saying dubious as well? In that you'd want to know certain things for an 18-year-old to get married. In terms of you'd want to know that they've got their emotional intelligence and blah 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 blah. And if you think they don't,
emotional intelligence. But this is the thing.
If you thought they didn't. Let's say you just thought this boy is a clown, like he's 18 and he's a clown.
If he's a clown, then it's different.
Yeah,
and that's why I said. That's why I said from what I see them if they're ready, because you're forgetting. You're not just thinking about you. You're not just thinking for in that example your son. You're also thinking about the woman that he's going to marry. Like, don't put another woman through that, another person's daughter, another woman through that stress because you know that your son's not ready and you just want to get him married off. It's not like that. Yeah, my thing is, there's. Cool, the emotional intelligence and all of that, but if they have it correct, or if they have that, but it's not to what I would want it to be for them to get married, but they still have that to a degree, yes, I'll still them get married off if I see that they're seeing certain struggles, because it's not a joke. I'd rather them get married. This is just me. I'd rather my children get divorced if I see that they're capable of taking care of someone else. They'll say, my child divorced. Yeah. I'd rather them get married and then get divorced than do all the nonsense that is happening today. That's just me.
I agree with that, because at the end of the day, as parents, obviously your first. I agree with that, yes, but yeah, at the end of the day, as a parent, obviously your first concern has to be for their souls, innit? And zina is that's the worst case scenario. Has to be them going and doing fornications, innit? That has to be in it. The worst case scenario, innit? Yeah. Because as much as it sounds weird in modern day society, it is better to get married and then divorced than to have sex outside of marriage. It isn't it? It's like in Allah's eyes, it isn't it? So 100%. Not get married for the purpose of divorce or get married, but do you know what I mean? It isn't it? It sounds might sound off, but it's fact in it. It is what it is, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, of the worst sins of the three worst sins is shirk, murder, zina. It's there in it. So divorce isn't there in it. So yeah, but you have to look at it like that in it. So I think for me, it's like I said, like you said, I would be dubious as well. But at the end of the day, I'd be dubious as well, and I'd want to question all of these things. And I'd say if I didn't think you was of sense to be married, I genuinely didn't think you was of sense to be married. Then
see, I don't know. I understand the sentiment behind what you're saying. That getting married and divorce is worse than. But again, I feel like that is a worst case scenario. If you do your, I think if you do your job.
This is why open lines of communication are important.
It sounds like I'm simplifying it, and I might be waffling here, but yeah, just bear with me. But I feel like if you, I don't even know how to say it, but if you do the best that you can do as a parent, and you genuinely do the best that you can do as a parent to educate your children onto why they shouldn't be doing these certain things, why they shouldn't be committing sin and stuff like that. Yeah.
But the thing is,
listen. At the end of the day,
it shouldn't come to a case of, because I don't want you to go out and commit zina, it's better for you to go and get married. I don't agree with that. I'm sorry.
There's two things.
I understand the sentiment behind it, but I don't agree with it.
The first thing you said is,
and again, that's a worst case scenario.
But if you knew, if and I know you'll never know, blah blah blah. But if you knew, this is if I don't get married, I'm going to commit zina,
yeah,
do I have your blessing to get married? You must want to say no. I don't want you to do both, because the fact that you're saying this probably means that you're not of the best mind to be getting married. But if it's 50-50, you got to pick one. That's the scenario I'm bringing, which is obviously not a real life scenario. Then we have to objectively say which one's better in it.
Based on what you said, we don't want to
tell people that because at the end of the day, there are a lot of people who end up in zina because of. And I guess 18 is a bad example because it's very young. But
listen, younger than that, bro.
Huh? No, but as in terms of just like I'm saying, a lot of people in our community, age community, are being told, I don't know, you have to finish your 8 years of uni before, a lot of them are ending up doing zina because of. They see because the goalposts. Parents just keep pushing the goalpost, and it's like, yeah. It's not the best idea. You want them to be finished and blah blah blah. But sometimes a bit of realness is needed, isn't it? And there's a lot of issues that cause children young people to feel like they have to have sex because of the way society pre-mixing, pushing us together on social media, sexualization of society, blah blah blah. That everybody just wants to have sex.
I feel like at some point this also becomes an issue.
This is why people take their children away.
This becomes an issue of parenting as well, and how you. And I don't have any children here, so again, I could be waffling, but for me, from this scenario, I guess I feel like that's more of a parenting issue, and how you parent your kid doesn't mean you have to police them, but you try and raise them with the right Islamic knowledge, and so they can understand the consequences to their actions, and that they shouldn't have to follow the way that society says X, Y, Z. And obviously, peer pressure is a different subject. But
right, this is what I was gonna say earlier on. The 2 points I was gonna raise with what you said previously. The first one about the worst case scenario. You mentioned this being as the worst case scenario, but I don't think this is the worst case scenario. I think, it is the worst case scenario, but I don't think it is. The way you say worst case scenario as if occasionally this happens. This doesn't happen occasionally. This is the norm.
What's the norm?
As in stuff happening in society, people having sex, even from Muslim families and that. Like it's actually the norm. Like if we don't think it is the norm, we're being naive.
I understand that.
That's the second thing you said was in regards to parenting, and with parenting, sometimes you can be the best parents, stuff is still going to happen. That's why I don't like to sit here on my high horse and say, like sometimes banter and go, look at how their kids are going to turn out, but it could equally it could happen to us. Like we could do the best, but
two parents could do the same techniques, do the same everything, but the children are different.
Look at the society we live in. We don't like it can happen to anyone. So you can do the best for your kids, and they can still turn out or do X, Y, and Z. So it's up to Allah. You leave it. You do your best, and you leave the first to Allah, and Allah takes care of all.
Right, exactly. So then that doesn't mean that if we're leaving the first to Allah, that doesn't mean that I'd rather you go and get married and then get divorced rather than. Like I said,
they might not get divorced.
I understand the sentiment.
Because a lot of boyfriend and girlfriends,
but by doing that,
marriage,
that's tying my camel.
Marriage isn't a throwaway topic. It's not a throwaway. Just get married.
Do you know it is?
I don't agree with that.
So do you know it is?
But I say if that statement would make sense for us to say, my kid says they want to get married, don't care. I'm not going to hear what they have to say. I'm not going to assess them. I'm not going to see if I'm just going to get them married off. That would make sense. But I said specifically, I'll judge from their character, from what I know from them as my children and what I see of them. If I feel that they are ready, then I would encourage them towards it.
That doesn't,
and that's what we're meant to do. That's what we're meant to do as Muslims anyway. We're meant to encourage our children to get married from you.
That doesn't tie in with you now saying that you'd rather your child gets married and then gets divorced rather than committing zina. Because in that example,
100%,
that's literally just about sex. That's not about anything else. You're just assessing whether this person.
It's not just about sex, number one, but it's not. Marriage is not just about sex.
Of course, that's not what I'm saying. Yeah. What I'm saying is, with that example of you saying that you'd rather your child get married and then get divorced rather than committing zina, that's about sex.
But by saying it's just for sex, you're talking about someone who would. It takes a certain person to get married just for sex. And again, I remind you, I said specifically from what I see from.
They're all kufar. They are the short-term thing. What's the name of it?
I don't know about them, man.
I forgot what it's called. Do you know they do that? They do them temporary marriage.
Yeah,
temporary marriage thing.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Anyway.
Muta'a? Is it Muta'a?
Yeah, I feel that might sound. I think that is it.
Can't remember.
Anyway,
but yeah,
I might click the meme there. I might put the meme.
Kafar.
You probably are Shia, innit? They're all kufar. They're all kufar. What? Who could do anything about it? What? Shia kufar. What?
But yeah, sorry, I just had to lighten up a bit. But yeah, do you know what it is? Yeah, I think, as I said before, and it's a weird concept, innit? And it's gonna sound weird. It's gonna sound bare dramatic and blah blah blah. But as we said, yeah, as Muslims, the first concern has to be
children's souls in
it. It has to be. It has to be in it. And
yes,
and obviously, and with marriage as well. For example, in this scenario where you've told your son to get married before committing zina, you're probably also gonna say, or I'd hope you're also telling him, if you want to have a successful marriage, this is what you have to do. This is what you have to do. This is the girl you have to marry. And do you know what I mean? With all of that, it's not just get married and then go to bed.
So this is what I'm saying. So I feel like by having those kind of conversations, you can avoid this. It doesn't mean that.
But do you know this? But what you can when you go outside and when you look outside and go to the high street is telling you that sex is gonna happen, innit?
Yeah.
So, do you know what I mean? Like, how many? Look, we went to Old Kent Road Americas. Yeah. How many of the people in that Americas do you think remained chaste until being married? What percent? So and all our parents sent us to the same marriage. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, like and I think one thing as well with the marriage thing, I think as well, yeah, I think in what needs to happen, especially in this type of society, is that marriage needs to be more. Marriage has to be a bit more flexible.
I just remembered somebody. I remember one time someone went from madrasa to a rave.
What age was this person that they were going to rave?
I'm not going to say too much on this.
Anyway, but yeah, like so the marriage has to be a bit more flexible in terms of the fact that we need to be a bit more pragmatic. Maybe I think in that what is marriage in? Obviously, marriage
safeguards us from many things. That's.
So so the traditional, what we see of marriage is, you finish uni, you get married, you move into a house together, you start your life together, and then your partnership, you get your joint account, you get your mortgage.
That's the social perspective.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And I think we need to maybe open our minds up to flexible ways in which people can get married. For example, what is marriage in so example, so you know how like house prices are going mad, yeah? Even I'm seeing this from out. You know how it's typically the Asians that do the whole, and me that do the whole get married and then don't leave your family house type thing, and then they move in that type thing, yeah. Even I'm seeing it, like amongst non-Asians now, because of the way that the market is and blah blah blah. I'm seeing English people and different types of people getting married and staying at home.
Not only that,
or moving into
flat sharing. Two couples in a house.
So I think. You just the marriage, the core of marriage, obviously, is that commitment to Allah, that this is going to be the person I'm going to give them the rights, and they're going to be our rights, and we're going to love each other for the sake of Allah, as an act of ibadah, and that as long as that's there, I feel like especially nowadays, and maybe going older, as time progresses, we might have to get a bit more flexible with all the other parts of it to enable us to protect ourselves from zina, because the more you make marriage difficult, the more zina is gonna occur in it.
At the end of the day, as parents,
and that's not from me. That's what the ustad will tell you, innit? So, 100%. And I from what I've seen, I can't see anything that's gonna disagree with that.
As a parent, my aim is to make the path of marriage easier than the path of committing zina. Almost to the point where it's like, you want to commit zina, but why would you do that? That's stupid, because you've got marriage. Kind of thing.
And at the same time, raising good wives and good husbands, so to the point where
100%.
They might not be perfect and they might not be as mature.
And where does that start from?
They need to do when they're young.
And where does that start from? That starts from who you choose for a spouse.
Oh,
you yourself.
You yourself. You mean the mother of your kids?
100%.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Should we go one last? Back to the questions. So. And for those that aired me, thanks for listening, innit? That's what I'm gonna say.
If you're a listener, then we already love you just by the fact that you're a listener.
Yeah, we appreciate your support.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
So, who's most likely to call for backup? And the second question was, who is most likely to break a leg?
Wait, say that again?
Who's most likely to call for backup and who's most likely to break a leg?
To call for backup.
Backup for what? Like
Backup for what?
Eve.
I have no idea.
Who sent this?
Who sent that?
A young brother I did itikaf with.
Who's most likely to break a leg? And
who's most likely to call for backup?
Break a leg is Dullah.
I was gonna say Dullah, but I'm thinking you.
Me? To be fair, I've broken my legs before.
Exactly.
Why me? But that was when I was free.
Why me?
Why you? Because you're the most
Rago.
Okay. Who's most likely to call for backup?
I've never broken a bone in my body before. No, nothing.
But I was free. I don't think that can be held against me. Do you know what it is though? Tell a lie. I actually think it's me, you know.
I'd say you.
I'm injury prone.
Yeah.
I'm injury prone.
Yeah, so I don't think it, and I was
I've never broken a bone. Alhamdulillah.
I was thinking you, yeah.
Mine's always got an injury.
Initially my mind went straight to you, but then I was thinking you, because yeah,
I need to start eating petit palu again.
All right.
And what? Who called for backup?
I don't even know.
Second, the next person asks, favorite of the Prophet's companions. Each mine is it's probably Umar radiallahu anhu.
Do you want to go into why a bit?
Because
he's ragged.
Get me?
Because he's angry.
Yeah, he was
angry.
Because he
didn't listen to other opinions.
I mean, I was actually gonna say the same thing, but for a different reason. Okay. And I would say I think it's just
a lot of traits.
No, go into
I see him radiallahu anhu. I see him myself. I'll just say that it doesn't matter if you don't see it. I see
what
it.
traits do you have that match?
How are we gonna do this?
Well, yeah, no, I just want to know what you think of yourself. What traits you think you have? How would you summarize yourself?
You know what? You go with yours first.
No, mine's a bit different, innit? So
yeah, go on.
No, but it's by the time I'm done, the moment's gone. So
I'm done. You go.
Ibs.
No, I was just gonna say because of his story and how he kind of came.
Yours is Umar radiallahu anhu as well.
Yeah, and being someone that had done all of the madness.
We're going into why,
and then being able to be someone's kind of just completely flip his life around. I guess it's just kind of inspiring and just remembering that.
Was you a bit mad?
No, nothing to do with me, but just being able to kind of turn your whole life around. I guess it's just a reminder for everybody that it doesn't matter how much bad that you've done in your past, that Allah can always forgive you. And what's the hadith that says if a believer was to come to me with sins that amount to the entire world, and I'm paraphrasing here, then Allah would meet you with the forgiveness of the entire world. So yeah, it's just it's a good reminder and I guess kind of an inspiration for me. Yeah.
Cool. Should I do me?
Yeah.
I think I've kind of got two answers.
I don't like these surprises. Send me these questions before you ask them.
I kind of
You know what? I'll just copy this whole list.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Alright, we're getting messy. I kind of got two answers. The first one is Abu Bakr, and the main reason is and that's just because obviously he was there in it. Like, is in at all stages he was there. He was kind of like the most after the prophets, after the angels, the person most high. You know, I was like, it's gonna be Abu Bakr. But then aside from that, just the kind of thinking about stories and how it kind of relates and blah blah blah. Then for me, it would be Salman Farsi, because I just think the story is just proper sick. I'm probably gonna have to go into the story now, aren't I? A little. No. I can go into it. I can do it. But basically, for those who don't know, I'd say go and check up his story if you don't know. But I'm gonna cut it very very short. But this is a person who is basically a story of somebody who. The truth, I guess I kind of see a bit of production in this one, you know. Who basically the truth was his aim, and he did everything he could, and he was determined to find the truth, and Allah kind of made the path easy for him. So he was somebody who kind of basically he was what's that area called? What are they called? Persian, yeah, Persians. So you might know the story, production. So and they basically practice the religion of basically fire, almost like a juju religion, and something just told him that this wasn't right, and he decided that I'm gonna find the truth, and he sought the truth from people, and he basically ended up traveling the whole of Asia, going to different people just because they've said this is the person who can tell you about the religion of God, and he kept on going to the point where he ended up meeting, and I'm killing the story, but he ended up meeting the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and further to that, not just meeting him, he went on to using the experiences that he'd gotten from his whole life, contributed to the tactics that helped the kind of Muslims grow and survive when in their various wars and strifes and all of that kind of stuff. So it's just a sick story. If you don't know it, Salman Farsi, I'd say go and check it out. So yeah, so in terms of story, that's kind of my favorite one.
All right. So someone she said, what is an element of friendship that you would say is underrated?
An element of friendship. I think someone that can just make you laugh, you know. Like
that's underrated.
Because like
underrated though.
Is that underrated, or would you say that's rated?
I wouldn't say that's underrated.
You know what?
What I would say is underrated,
I would say,
and this might sound generic, but I would say loyalty. And when I say
loyalty is underrated.
Yes, and I don't just mean loyalty in the sense that you back your friend in whatever situation, but kind of loyalty, and it can be loyalty between friends, and most of the time it should be unspoken if you're really close with that person. So that, for example, if I'm having a private conversation with Jollof, for example, even though the three of us are cool, it should be unspoken that if I say something to you and you alone, it should be in confidence, and you shouldn't go and be telling them, even if we're all friends. If I've told you and only told you specifically, that should just be kind of an unspoken rule that you don't need to go and be telling other people what I've said. So I would say in that sense, that is kind of that's underrated. Yeah.
Oh, I've got one. Yeah,
I would say knowledge.
Well,
I think people don't. No. As in knowledge of who you're dealing with. I think people get comfortable too quickly, and they don't know who. They don't get to know people. Like, for example, I feel like when getting to know someone, you should know your boundaries. You should know what type of person you're dealing with. You should know, will this person have this? Will this person will not have this? Will this person accept this kind of joke? Will they not? And I feel like, okay, I've experienced this where over the past couple of years, as I've calmed down a bit and I've become less unapproachable, people have started to...
Did you say you've calmed down and you've become...
less unapproachable, yeah.
So, okay, that's a double negative. So you become more approachable is what you're saying?
Yeah, but I'm not approachable.
Okay,
so, as people... Like, I know it's just people, when you become nicer and less angry, people they just start to become more comfortable way too quickly. Like, I thought you need to get to know someone before you start
running jokes.
Even just running joke. Like, and even then, you can know someone for years and still not. Okay, look at the episode where you made the donkey joke. How long have you guys known me? And because you guys. And that's just and you get like, the point I'm trying to raise is it takes a long time to get to know someone and get comfortable. You guys have known me
150 years.
You guys have known me forever, and okay, cool. You have a certain level of banter with the guys in the group chat our age.
Yeah,
but you know that wasn't wrong with me. And you know you don't banter with, bruv, when you ever do the crush your head jokes and all that stuff with me, your head looks like this and all that, and we don't do it. We don't do it. We haven't done it recently, but
we haven't done that in years. But
yeah.
But
I've never been involved in that.
I don't think I have either.
Maybe that was a bad example. But you know what I mean. What I'm trying to say is, you know what kind of jokes will fly with this person and that person.
Yeah,
like. But nowadays, I feel like people don't even take time to get to, and it's kind of selfish. People don't get time to know the other person. You just want to get too comfortable, and then when you get banged in your face, you're like, what happened here? Or when, okay, not banged in the face, but when
You're now listening to Jollof after Jummah.
when stuff goes left, or when
the sound effect, I didn't want me to pay it.
when somebody starts becoming distant, you wanna like, it doesn't make. All right, point I'm trying to say is get to know your audience, innit? Before you get too comfortable, take things slow. Like, get to know someone. Don't start getting comfortable too quickly. Maybe I'm waffling now, but that's my point in it. Knowledge.
The one I was gonna say is
You don't want to send these questions, Abby.
I'm sending them. I'm just trying to
we'll
vet them.
And then we'll move on. Huh? We'll do one more after this, then we'll move on. But yeah, I think, you know, like having a friend, yeah, that's like that's basically, I don't want to say rich, but basically somebody who knows how to make peas and like do different stuff.
Okay.
Because
resourceful.
Somebody that's resourceful, that's a good word. Because, and it's not just peas, it's just other things. So just a lot of the time, for example, we've got a friend, Tao, that was on the podcast. Yeah. I am crap with Excel. So, but I could have to go on a YouTube video or something that will make me learn or blah, blah, blah. But then Tao has offered me, I haven't taken this up yet, but that he would do a course for me and teach me how to use Excel, which will help me in my work and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
It's not just little things like that, yeah. So having friends that are just talented, good at different things, it's good because it means that you can help each other in it. And it's an underrated thing because people don't obviously, it's not good to think of your friends as how they can help you, but having friends that can help you and being able to help your friends is important in it. For example, having a friend that's good with media and enabled us to do this stuff like that. Yeah. So not that we're using you, do you know what I mean? But we're using you in it. So no, I'm joking. We're utilizing your skills. Yeah. So for mutual benefit, it means that you can keep money in house, you can keep it in your community, and etc. 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 So that's, I think, is something that's a bit underrated. Straight into your answer.
Question was on the lines of would you marry one of your sisters to your bros? And if not, why?
Begrudgingly, but
your sister as in your blood sister to you, and your bro as one of your friends.
Yes.
No incest thing.
No. I don't even come to mind.
So obviously, there's two sides to this. There's the Malik that grew up on the ends and that, and you know, just grew up in life like and that part of me saying no, that's my man been pretty my sister this whole time. Blah, blah, blah. Obviously, I find it easy to answer because I don't have a little sister, but so what, like, so
but you have a big,
because if a man comes to me when he's like 25 and my sister's, let's say my sister's 22.
Let's take 25. Ages and all of that out of it. Let's just say you had a sister hypothetically.
But how long have you been pre my sister? That's the question. when she was 12.
I don't think that
when she was 50.
Doesn't necessarily mean it is pre.
Let's just say both same age, both similar age. And he's inquiring because that's the type of person that you want to be around. About your sister. Is your sister married? I mean, would you marry your sister?
Personally,
how well do I know this, bro? How do I know this, bro?
This is one of your
close guys,
close friends. Yeah,
I'm speaking hypothetically. I don't have a younger sister. I don't have any trash friends.
Of course we are.
I don't have any trash friends either. So I don't think I'd have an issue with it.
Same. Exactly. I wouldn't, innit?
Probably sound
the company.
I wouldn't, innit? But it's that's a me answering now. I'm trying to think me in my whole life. If you answered me that question 5 years ago,
but you had different. You had different.
But I'm trying to those people that may hold that view, it's probably good that we unpack why they shouldn't have that view.
Yeah, I was just gonna get into. You shouldn't have that view. Wait, what?
So basically, the people that say no, is he mad?
Yes. So the point I'm trying to raise is you should keep company around you that is to the level where you would want to marry them to your sister, if that makes sense. Like you should, if man wanted to marry your sister, you wouldn't object to, and if there's a reason why you would object, why? What qualities in this guy do you see that you wouldn't want as your brother-in-law or to be good enough to marry your sister?
Exactly. Yeah,
and if so, why are you hanging around this person? If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And do you think that needs to change your friendship at all?
Your friendship circle. Yeah.
No, I mean, is now that your boy is married to your sister? that affect your friendship with your boy?
It should make it better.
Yeah.
If you married into your sister,
it should have a negative effect on
then if he's good enough for you to marry to your sister, then that should make the bond even stronger. Because now they're gonna have children, inshallah, that are gonna share the same blood as you. So now technically you share the same blood, so you're even more closer. Yeah,
actual brothers now, and and also I think the
both uncles for each other's children.
Can I ask? Production, can you answer? Yeah.
Why are you putting them on the spot, bro?
No, do you know why I want it? Because it's perspectives, isn't it? Because this is a newer perspective, isn't it?
Fair enough.
Wait, repeat the question, just so I'm like.
So let's say hypothetically you had a sister. Would you marry her to Abdulmalik? And if not, why?
The thing is,
if yes,
we're
why?
all thinking from like the brother's perspective as well. Yeah. What about the sister? Like, is the sister of the right mind to be like?
She wants to marry. I'm guessing she wants to marry.
We're talking now. We're bringing too many variables. You had a sister that's Abdulmalik's age, and she's looking to get married. She's interested. Abdulmalik's interested.
I'm interested.
He's not married, and he's inquired for your sister. Would you be okay with that? If not, why? If yes, why?
This is different for me, innit? Obviously, I'm like coming from like a family which isn't Muslim. I'm coming from a family which isn't Muslim, innit? So I would say it's actually my question. Right, I would like to say yes, innit? Because that's the right thing, right?
Yeah.
But don't say what feels right. Say what your opinion is.
I would be like a bit like, how is that gonna work? Is that gonna affect like
your relationship?
My relationship with my sister, as well as my relationship with my brother.
And why do you think that is? Why would it have to affect your relationship? And is it in a positive way or negative way?
It could be positive, it could be negative. Like, it could just be how I see my brother now would change because like you're with my sister now.
And is that a good thing or a bad thing?
You man, put me on the spot.
No, because
be onto him now. That's what he's basically saying. Like, now I have to be onto my man.
Oh, okay. So because he married your sister, you have to be onto him.
Yeah,
but why weren't you onto him before?
Like, do you know, like, it's different because it's family. Like, family will always be different to, like, a brother.
Friends,
obviously, inshallah, like, if your friends, like, good enough friends, it's basically family, right?
Yeah.
But
if your friends,
that's not always the case. So
let's say you saw Abdulmalik doing something he shouldn't be doing, or talking to someone he shouldn't be talking to. Yeah. Isn't that on you to pull him up on that? As your bro, as your friend, as your close friend. Yeah. And would you pull him up on that on the same way you would if he was married to your sister and he was doing the same action?
Not necessarily.
Why not?
Because it's life, innit? Yeah, like, you can't be everybody's. But what am I?
But the point I'm trying to raise is...
I've answered the question.
The point I was trying to raise was, regardless, like, we should be pulling up each other and treating each other as brothers should be, and the way we should be having people around us is the same way it should be regardless, if that makes sense. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
So
that's the ideal, innit?
Yeah. No, the ideal, it should be the norm.
Yeah, exactly. The ideal should be the norm.
Yeah.
But I think for people that I think the fact that it's an issue, the underlying issue shows that people generally don't hold their friends
in high regard,
as a high standard.
Yeah.
Which is a problem in society, because I think if everybody held their friends to a higher standard, then generally the standard of people probably would be
100% much higher. We all know the saying of the blacksmith and how
perfume seller,
if you're
so yeah, man. I think we kind of successfully unpacked that a bit. Yeah. I think, should we leave it there for this week? Fragmented episode.
It's 2:30.
Yeah, it's,
you need to go.
It's late, man.
Well, are you good? I
think let's just wrap it.
Let's keep.
But yeah, man. we ended up doing marriage. I'm not making this part 4 though.
No, it's not.
This isn't part 4. But yeah, man. Obviously, I know I teased something last week. Maybe it will be next week.
What is it?
The sexualization of the hijab.
Oh, yes.
Maybe next week on Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, man. Jazakallah khair for listening. People as well. Obviously, I want to say this at the beginning, but yeah, obviously a lot of people have been. I can see very passionate about some of the things we've been discussing. I know a lot of people are kind of talking about it in group chats and blah 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 blah.
Please don't attack my opinion, though.
No, it's not even. It's not even an attack thing. What I'm saying is, I beg, yeah, if these conversations you're having, if you're gonna have a conversation about the podcast, for the sake of your brothers, yeah, let's try and have these conversations in as public a sphere as possible, to try and obviously get the message out there, get the podcast out there, because obviously we're trying to grow the thing, inshallah. So the simplest thing you can do obviously is like and subscribe, leave a comment, and let's have these conversations in a public sphere, and let's get the word out, man.
Yeah, I hear that. Also for the mandem as well, like if you do have genuine opinions and like concerns and things, please do bring them to us. This is for people that know us. Please do.
And that don't know us.
Huh?
And that don't know.
I guess so. But more for the people that do know us, I'm speaking to. Like, if you do have genuine thoughts and concerns, that please, because like we mentioned, and I mean, I would say this is more in line with checking us. And if you think that we're doing stuff that isn't right, or you think maybe we're not being true to ourselves, please do come and let us know. I'd rather you message me directly and say, bro, someone messaged me this morning and wanted to ask me about my opinion, or just check me for something that they thought that maybe wasn't true. I'd much rather, and I'd really appreciate if you did that, rather than maybe, yeah, let me just leave it there. I'd rather you just message us directly and speak to us, because none of us are perfect, and we might say things that in hindsight that if we look at it in hindsight, yeah, we may not agree with it, but it's even better if someone else sees it as well and lets us know that bro, what you did maybe isn't right, or you should have done it this way. Please let us know.
No one's above correction.
Yeah.
Cool. We good, yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you for listening again. Jazakallah khair. Have a good week, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.